Hello. Since we missed the practice this week, I thought I'd just shoot over a video to walk through some of the stuff we would have learned about our offense. Should be a good thing to review since we'll just have one practice before our first game. So, broken down here on the slide is the basic formations, and then I'm just going to take us through the 5 plays that we'll want to have for the first week. And so, do your best to memorize the routes for each one of these. And then as we kind of go through the season, I'm guessing that everyone will kind of settle into a specific position as a wide receiver or running back or quarterback or whatever. But for now, just make sure that you know the routes here in these first simple 5 plays. And then no matter where you go in that first game, when the quarterback calls out the play, you'll know what to do. So in our plays, we're going to first of all be going for kind of a hurry up offense. And so the quarterback is going to be calling out the plays, and it'll really just come down to right or left, which will be our formation. And then out of that formation, we'll have 5 different plays that we can run. And so here shown on the screen are the right and left formation. And so the first thing to point out, of course, that the center will be here, and that person will be starting with the ball, and then the quarterback will be directly behind the center. That'll be the case independent of if we're in the right or in the left formation. That'll be the same. Okay, so then if we're in the right formation, what's going to happen is the T, which will kind of act as like a tight end. The Y and the Z will be the farther wideouts on the right side, and then H, our halfback, will be backed by the quarterback. And then whoever plays more of our slot receiver kind of position, X, will be on the opposite side. So in the right formation, X will be kind of the odd man there on the left. And then vice versa for our left formation, the T, Y, and Z, now you can see move to the left. H is now to the left. And then X now moves to the right. So if you're center or quarterback, you know you're in the same spot. And then if you're H, T, Y, or Z, you know that you'll go to the side that has the formation name. So in other words, left, if you're one of these, you'll know you're lining up to the left. And if you're X, you know you're lining up to the opposite. So if it's left formation, you're lining up to the right and vice versa. Okay, so now let's walk through the 5 plays that we can run once you get lined up at the line of scrimmage. So the 2 things to note first is that so this dash line here and this dash line here, those are the lines of scrimmage. And then these lines here are lines that will be painted on the field. And these are important because in flag football, you have to run. If we're going to run the ball, you have to run outside that line first before you can advance it up the field. So before you can go past the line of scrimmage. We can pass in between those lines, but you just can't run straight forward. So in other words, for anybody playing quarterback or halfback, you can't just take the ball and say run it directly up here, but instead you would have to take it outside that line, and then you can go anywhere you want. So you can cut back inside if you want, or you can go farther outside. So those are important for that reason. But you can pass inside that line, just can't run. Okay, so this is going to be right one. So you'll notice that our plays are just going to be right or left. That just tells you the formation. And then one is going to tell you the routes. And so this is right one. And so you can see here, if your quarterback calls out right one, then this tells you if you're X, T, Y, or Z, which route you're going to run. So Y or X here is going to go on a fly. T is going to come right to the blitzing linebacker spot. So in flag, there's one person that can blitz. That person will be about right here, about 5 yards off the ball. And typically they'll just run head down, not even paying attention, just kind of blitz right in. And so one thing that I like to do is just take the tight end and just bring them right where that linebacker was. And if they're just blitzing without paying attention, that's a simple pass throughout the whole game. The next, so Y, you'll be running a post here, so about 5 yards, and then posting in. And then a Z, you'll be on a fly. Okay, so now if you're in right or left, it's the same routes, just mirrored. So in other words, you can see Z is on a fly here and right, and now that you line up on the left, it's still just a fly when you're on the left. Y, now when we go to left one, you're still running a post. T, you're still coming into where that linebacker is blitzing. X is still on a fly. Okay, so now in the center spot, right now, we're going to be focusing on the center, just blocking. So the center will be hiking the ball, and then you're going to be blocking that blitzing linebacker that's going to be coming in. So that's your job. In most of these formations, or most of these plays to start the year, H will also be blocking. So you'll have some help always in blocking that blitzing linebacker from H or from the T. Later on in the year, the center will start going out for passing routes too, but we'll bring some of those plays in later. Okay, so that's route one. Let's look at two. Okay, so now two, same thing. We have our right formation and our left formation here. And so on two, X is now running a square in. Our tight end is running a post, and Z is running a post, and Y is going to sneak underneath him and do about a 5-yard square out. And just like we saw in the previous play, the center and the halfback here are both going to be blocking that blitzing linebacker coming in. And so the quarterback will have a couple of quick pass options. In this one, X and Y, you'll have quick passes, within 2 seconds or so to X and Y. And then you'll have these slightly longer developing routes, more like 3 to 4 seconds here for T and Z. And then just like we saw in left one, left two is the same thing, just reversed. So Z is still doing a post in, Y is still doing that square out, T is doing a post in, X is doing a square in, and then you have blockers here for C and H. Okay, next one is play number 3. So now on this play, what you'll first notice is that H now is not blocking in this case, and instead T is blocking. So here our tight end is going to be the helper blocker for our center, and that's the same whether we're in left or right formation. And now H, instead of blocking, is going to be on a swing pass. So now once we hike the ball, the swing pass is going to come out here, or the swing round is going to come out here, and this will be a quick option for our quarterback here in both. Okay, and then in 3, X will now be running a post, Y will be running a fly, and Z will be running the square in. Okay, and similar vice versa for left. Z is still running a square in, Y is still running a fly, X is still running a post. Okay, now play number 4 is going to be a run pass option. So typically you hear this called RPO for run pass option. We're simply just going to call it 4, so it's easy to call from the line. Okay, so on this play, you'll notice that X, Y, and Z are all running flies. And again, just like always, same for right and left. So everybody's going out on a fly. On this one, like the previous, both C and T are staying into blocks, so they'll be blocking that blitzing linebacker. And the difference with this play is now on the right, the quarterback is going to take this more shallow angle, and the halfback is going to take this deeper angle. And what's going to happen is the halfback is going to be about 5 yards here. So we want this distance to be about 5 yards. And the quarterback is going to be able to pitch the ball to the running back, and then the running back, of course, can continue to run. The quarterback can just go ahead and run this ball directly, or the quarterback can throw the ball to any one of these 3 routes here coming deep. And so if we're rolling right, most likely this deep pass is going to be going here to X. Okay, so then on the left, it's the same thing. It's just that we're rolling left rather than right. So the quarterback here is taking that shallow angle. Again, we'll have that option pitch to H where H can then continue to run. The quarterback can run, or we have any of those passes. Okay, now finally, the last play that we'll put in is a flea flicker. So this will be play number 5. So on this one, what we'll do is both the center and the tight ends will stay in and block, both on left and on right. Now on the right 5, the quarterback is going to roll left, and then I'm calling this a flick here. He's going to essentially just pitch or hand off to the X or slot wide receiver. And then X, once X gets back here, X will have an option. Now X can run the ball any way that you want. You can, now that you've got the ball outside this line, you can actually run straight up the middle, or you can continue and run out here. Or you can hit any of these passes. And so this is probably what we're going to do, is pass out of this. And the neat thing about this play is X can actually pass back to the quarterback. So after this flick gets thrown or gets pitched and X comes around here, you can set up, and then the quarterback can continue here. And this pass can be made here, or any one of these routes can get hit. So H will come out on this very shallow out route. Y is on the post, and Z is on a fly. X should be able to hit any one of those 4 people with good blocks here from the center and the tight end. And then, like the previous ones, right, the left 5 is the same as right 5 here, where now the quarterback is rolling right to get to the flick to X. And T and C are both staying in and blocking. And now as X comes around here, we'll have, again, this short out pass here to H. We'll have the post to Y and the fly to Z. All right, so of course we'll get to practice these next week. But the more that you can watch these and understand exactly how this offense is going to work, the more we'll get out of that next practice, and we'll really be able to go into that first game rolling. All right, thank you.